Welcome back to Car Auto Tune-Up. The moment the sunlight hits the paint, the 2026 S2000 comes alive in a way that makes you stop and just take it in. Honda has clearly poured attention into the paintwork itself. This isn't just a color or its depth, its richness. It's the kind of finish that dances between shades depending on the angle you stand at. Metallic reds that almost look liquid, pearl whites that shimmer under the street lamps, and a deep blue that nods to the original Suzuka Blue Pearl, a wink to longtime fans. In motion, the reflections slide along the curves like water, accentuating every line of the sculpted body. You notice how the hood's central crease carries you right forward, right into that low, wide front grille. There's nothing here that feels tacked on or over-designed. It's a lesson in restraint, which makes every aggressive detail pop even more. Crouching down to look at the front bumper from road level, you see those aerodynamic channels. They're not just cosmetic, they're designed to route air cleanly around the wheels, improving stability at higher speeds. The headlights themselves have a triple beam LED setup, each cluster giving a razor-sharp glow. Around the perimeter, a thin DRL trace runs like an underline to the S2000's gaze, subtle during the day, piercing at night. Even the Honda badge has been reworked slightly, sitting proud against a black tout mesh insert. You catch the faint whiff of brake pad resin from the big front calipers, painted red if you spec the performance pack, or satin silver for the standard car. Your eyes follow the body line to the side where the magic of proportion really hits you. The hood stretches just enough to promise performance, while the cabin is pushed back, a classic long hood, short deck sports car architecture. The doors are lightweight aluminum, and their shut sound is a crisp, metallic click. The lower rocker panel carries a sculpted edge that blends into the rear haunches with almost no break in the surface. Here, the designers managed to balance nostalgia with modernity. On one hand, you've got the minimal ornamentation that recalls the 2000 model year. On the other, you have a sense of precision in the surfacing that feels like it belongs in the electric age. Speaking of the wheels, they're wrapped in sticky Michelin Pilot Sport rubber, the kind of tire that whispers confidence through your fingertips when you turn in. Depending on trim, you can get a lightweight forged alloy design that exposes massive ventilated discs. There's even an optional diamond cut finish that catches light in a way that makes the car look in motion even when it's parked. The stance is purposeful, wide, low, with just enough gap to let the suspension breathe when you hit an apex hard. Swinging around to the back, the car delivers one last visual punch. The LED taillights have a smoked finish that almost disappears into the rear quarter panel when unlit. A subtle horizontal bar links them across the trunk, reinforcing width. Down below, the diffuser is framed by a pair of perfectly centered exhaust tips, a polished stainless steel or dark titanium if you choose the sport upgrade. Listen closely at idle and you'll hear that signature S2000 note, albeit deeper, richer, and with a faint turbo spool if you're in the boosted version. There's no faux vents, no unnecessary cut line edge, just a clean, honest design that lets performance speak louder than styling gimmicks. Step inside, open the door and drop into the interior, and you're met with a cockpit that knows exactly why you're here. The seating position is low, your legs stretch forward, and the steering wheel comes right into your chest. Everything is tilted toward the driver of the screen, the vents, even the subtle curve of the dash. The seats hold you in place with just the right amount of firmness. Honda has mastered the fine line between track-ready support and long drive comfort. The bolsters feel snug without being restrictive, and the headrests are integrated to keep weight down. The digital cluster comes alive with a startup animation that sweeps the tachometer needle across its range in homage to the original's 9,000 RPM glory. The center display is high resolution but compact, big enough to be useful, small enough to never dominate your view. There are still physical knobs for climate control, a small but important nod to drivers who don't want to dive through menus mid-corner. The shifter, if you go manual, is a short throw work of art, a cold metal top, leather boot, and that satisfying, mechanical click between gears. The automatic paddle shifters, if chosen, are aluminum and mounted to the column so they never move out of reach during aggressive steering. Slide your hand across the dash and you'll feel premium materials, soft leather wraps, brushed aluminum inlays, maybe even optional carbon fiber trim. Storage is minimal, but that's part of the charm. This is not an SUV trying to be everything. It's a driver's machine that gives you exactly what you need. No more, no less. Under the hood on the road, the chassis tuning is where the magic happens. The steering is immediate, just a whisper of input and the front tires respond. In the corners, the car feels like it pivots around your hips, perfectly balanced, with weight transfer so predictable you can dance it right at the limit. The suspension is firm but not punishing, soaking up imperfections without losing its connection to the asphalt. Drop into second gear, roll onto the throttle, and the car surges forward, and not brutally, but with a linear, intoxicating pull. If it's the turbocharged version, boost comes on early and holds strong. If it's the naturally aspirated variant, it builds to a crescendo that makes you want to chase the red line every single time. Braking is just as confidence-inspiring. The pedal is firm, the bite immediate, and modulation is easy. You feel in control at every stage. You trail braking into a tight bend, bleeding off speed before a high-speed sweeper, or coming to a clean stop at the lights with no drama. Price-wise, it's a statement. Honda knows the S2000 name carries weight, and they're pitching this as a halo car. Base models may start in the mid-60s, with performance trims and special editions climbing toward $80,000. That's a lot more than the original, but in today's market and for what this offers, it's an ask that will tempt those who've been waiting for this return for over a decade. As the review winds down, the final drive back to the studio feels bittersweet. You park the car, step out, and take one last walk around it. The way the evening light kisses the rear fender, the faint tick of cooling metal from the engine bay, the smell of warm brake, it's a sensory closure that makes you want to turn the key again and take the long way home. For those who remember the thrill of the original S2000, this is more than just a new car, it's a time machine with modern credentials. And for those new to the name, it's an invitation to discover why this badge is so revered. You glance back at the camera, grin, and deliver the send-off your viewers have been waiting for. This isn't just a return, it's a reminder that driving can still be pure joy in an era where so much feels automated and distant. That's the 2026 Honda S2000. That's why we're here, and that's why, sometimes, you just have to drop the top, find an empty stretch of road, and let the revs do the talking. Thanks for watching Auto Tune Up. Until next time, keep your hands on the wheel and your heart in the drive. And hey, if you've enjoyed riding shotgun with me on this drive, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss the next test drive. Every click helps keep us out here on the road, chasing down the cars that matter and bringing you the sound, the speed, and the